I've been homeless for a couple years now, on the streets, just trying to make it. So I struggle with addiction, and that's why I don't go home, because of my addiction.
Life on the street for 34-year-old Jacqueline Pepper, or Jackie, has been tough for a long time.
It's hard. You know, you don't know when you're gonna shower, you don't know when you're gonna be able to just take a breather or just relax, because you're always on the go. You're always having to move your tent, or a lot of places don't like homeless people because of stealing and, you know, the way they look, because they might be dirty or they might have dirty clothes. So it can be rough.
Jackie is one of hundreds of homeless people living in Gaston County, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte.
You're living in a tent pretty much. You don't have a home. There's a lot of people at tents, so that's pretty much what it means to be unhoused here. Or they don't even have shelter. Being unhoused, you know, you don't have a safe spot to sleep or a place for your stuff, even just it being shelter, you know, getting out the rain, or just being able to climb into a bed and be warm because, you know, it's cold outside. But mainly, you know, just having that, you know, your own little space.
Despite her struggles, Jackie says life has gotten a little better thanks to an organization called Displaced Roses, a place where she can go for basic necessities.
Wash laundry, take a shower, clean clothes, charge your phones, eat.
So this here is our most recent expansion of our sorting and staging space.
Danielle Webb is the founder and executive director of Displaced Roses, which began in 2020.
These here are custom built so they can hold up like all of our coats and our jackets.
Webb is walking us through an area where donated clothing is kept, organized by size. She meets face to face every day with the people she serves, people like Jackie.
So what is the plan for things right now then? Is he going to try to get another vehicle, or?
That is our plan.
Okay. We mainly serve those that are living on the streets. So they are in dwellings that are not meant for habitation, which is how HUD describes it. So that's either tents, park benches, abandoned buildings, meth houses, whatever is not meant for you to live there. We know how to get your food stamps, your Medicaid, which systems are open for your services, which are not, which help people not to go knocking on every door and end up with fatigue. I always say we don't work to get people to a door, but the right door.
Webb knows what it feels like to be homeless. After a deal to purchase a home fell through about 10 years ago, she lost her savings and life started to spiral downward.
So we went from staying with, family member for about a week and then rented a hotel. And it went and it got to a point where we ended up staying in my car. My child was 8 at the time, worrying how I'm going to keep him safe, to keep him out of situations of things that he could see, whether it's drugs or prostitution or us being robbed or any of those things. And then for him to go to try to have a normal life and go to school the next day and be a kid, which is what he was supposed to be. Our whole lives went upside down. So there was so much shame in telling people that I was experiencing homelessness because immediately it's your fault. It is victim shaming at its finest.
Webb finally got back on her feet, but said being homeless gave her a unique perspective and says the experience helps her better understand the people she serves.
I'm very grateful for the experience because it absolutely keeps in mind the humanity as I do this work every day.
The number of homeless people in the U.S. is on the rise. According to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, in 2024, an estimated 771,000 people experienced homelessness in the United States. That's an increase of 18% from the previous year. The number of homeless families jumped 39% over the previous year. Homelessness, or being unhoused, is also on the rise in North Carolina. There are nearly 10,000 people without a permanent home, according to the National Alliance to End Homelessness. African Americans account for about 36% of the state's homeless population. But Displaced Roses could be making a difference because in Gaston County, the number of homeless residents has dropped. from nearly 500 to just under 400 compared to the previous year.
We go and we answer the need. We always answer the need with no strings attached.
Webb believes a lack of affordable housing is a root cause of homelessness.
After COVID in particular, there was a skyrocket in rental costs. So that same house that was $500 a month 2 years ago is now $2,000. It's just a new coat of paint. And so people, the working class, are being thinned out from the housing options that were in our area, which we no longer have.
She says it's even worse for seniors.
Oh, how did grandma end up on the street? Well, grandma has a fixed income. She's got, your grandpa's pension or the Social Security that's coming in, and that doesn't change. But her housing for her landlord suddenly has, and now she cannot afford it.
Meanwhile, people like Jackie continue to struggle with homelessness. But with the help of Displaced Roses, she's seeing a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm trying to get in the right direction with not being an addict anymore. It's hard though, because every day is a struggle. But it's getting easier.
This work is really important, and the impact that we make, I do not take lightly. This experience has changed my life, definitely for the better.